Oh, Burgermaster.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Are you ready to order?
Yeah, I'll have the combo 2 with a medium Diet Coke, and then everything on the burger, including onions.
I don't know if you're familiar with this Seattle guy, Bill Gates. He bought a piece of software under false pretenses called DOS, and then he turned that into a monopoly that made him one of the richest people in the world. The software was renamed MS-DOS or Microsoft Disk Operating System, but today we're going to talk about Bill Gates. It's August 1st, 2020. The world is in bad shape. The United States is in very bad shape. And Bill Gates is richer than ever, which is weird because a long time ago he set up this foundation and he claimed that he's going to give away his fortune or most of his fortune. But he's richer than ever. And then he's saying, well, he's not going to disinherit his kids, but he's not going to leave them billions. But, are the kids going to get the house? Because they live in a $1 billion house filled with $1 billion worth of art treasures. Doomed Planet, the podcast, episode 42, Seattle Tech Villains, Bill Burgermaster Gates. And that's right, there's too much to cover here. Just say Bill had stopped at 1 billion or 5 billion. That should be enough for one family, right? And then made all Microsoft products open source, freeware, so that schools didn't have to purchase this stuff. They would just get it for free. Think of the productivity. Think of the wealth that could have been shared throughout our society instead of being funneled just to one person. We talked about Seattle tech villain Dan Price of Gravity Payments, I think, in our last episode. He's only worth a few million. That's chump change that they could come out of Bill's couch or one of his thousands of emu leather couches that he has in his properties all around the world. But yeah, Dan ain't nothing. Virtue signaling was the thing. Like, oh, I'm giving myself a pay cut from $1 million to $70K. Well, Bill Gates is actually the virtue signaling king of history. He starts this foundation. He openly says, well, it's our money. We spend it how we want. It's just he's putting his money in a different tax-free place. It's just absurd. But again, it's Bill Burgermaster Gates. We're just going to talk about his food. What is the food that he likes? Cheeseburgers. He's a man of the people. And Bill has pulled more than one cheeseburger stunt just to prove that he's a regular guy. Paying $2 for a shitty cheeseburger from a shitty regional Seattle cheeseburger chain. Burgermaster. Never frozen, grass-fed beef. Raised in the Skagit Valley. Their slogan, real food is real good, and they have 5 area locations. It was the one in Redmond or Bellevue, I guess, where Bill Gates and his buddies would frequently go for cheeseburgers and milkshakes during the early days of Microsoft, when Bill was merely a multimillionaire from a wealthy old money Seattle family. Seattle has some weird regional burger chains. The burger you want to get at Burgermaster is the Burgermaster with cheese, tomato, lettuce, and relish. Who serves a burger with relish outside of the Pacific Northwest? Reminds me of Kid Valley, another odd regional chain that had this special sauce that goes on all the burgers. You're moving here from somewhere else. You've just graduated from your Ivy League university with a degree in computer science, and you move from somewhere else to Seattle, and you're like, what the fuck is with these burgers? Of course, Burgermaster, you just get the cheeseburger, cheese, lettuce, and relish. The hamburger, there's a Bacon Master, and a burger melt. That's double the meat, double the cheese with ketchup and mustard, but no relish. And you could get that on a grilled sourdough or a toasted bun. And of course, Bill Gates loved the milkshakes. Well, they got just the normal flavors plus blackberry and Tom and Jerry. We don't have time to research what that is or to call Burgermaster, but that sounds good. And again, yeah, some of you are vegetarian or vegan, but a cheeseburger is delicious. Who does not want a sandwich of ground meat with some cheese on it, nestled in a bun with some condiments? And, a cheeseburger is really a condiment vehicle, right? The main taste comes from that savory, sweet ketchup and mustard and a pickle. And it's an incredible thing. And of course, one of the richest people in the world would want that. But does Bill Gates, is he like Elvis Presley? Is that all he eats is cheeseburgers? And he's going to a lot of fancy foofy dinners, and you have to wonder, I bet he doesn't like that. I bet he's sitting there, dining with Warren Buffett and some other plutocrats, being served, by waiters in tuxes, and he's like, what is this foie gras shit? I just want a fucking cheeseburger.
Triple cheeseburger, side order, fries.
So yeah, Burgermaster, very similar to Dick's, and Bill Gates has been spotted at both places. Burgermaster has a more extensive menu than Dick's. They've got barbecue ribs, chicken, fish and chips, grilled crab and Swiss, spaghetti dinner. So, do what you do best. Onion rings, I like that. Turkey Master. Again, Dick's has a very simple menu. I think that's the way a restaurant should be. Don't try doing this Chinese restaurant menu bullshit where there's like 100 different things that are all a variation on the same thing. Or, Taco Bell is good at that. Like, they come up with these marketing things where they're just combining the same 4 ingredients into some slightly different form, and it's like the Churrasco Master from Taco Bell. No, it's the same shit, and it's also the lowest quality, cheapest ingredients. Dick Spady opened Dick's in 1954. It's your 50s style drive-in sort of burger joint. And now his grandkids run the place. One of those kids is Saul Spady. And he's a right-wing dick that actually, because the right wing is so embraced by the media, he's on AM 770 KTTH, the Saul Spady Show, along with Jason Rantz, who's another right-wing psychopath, and Ben Shapiro, not local, but yeah. So Saul Spady and Jason Rantz, two of the most uneducated, ill-informed, right-wing bootlicking toadies in the history of this town, promoting their, we have to help the police, they're in trouble, they're in danger, that kind of shit. Again, this is, yes, okay, so we're not going to get into what a dick Saul Spady is other than to say we wrote a song about him that what we will dredge up here from a previous episode. Saul Spady. Saul Spady. Saul Spady. Saul Spady. Dick's has great burgers, hand-dipped shakes, and real potatoes. That's what makes our fries irresistible. Real potatoes. Cut fresh daily by hand. A Dick's burger is fine. I like actually just the plain cheeseburger, much like my bro Bill Gates. But their fries are terrible. Yeah, they hand cut the fries right in front of you there in the store. They're not twice fried. They fry them and they come out limp and greasy. If you've ever had a Dick's meal, just look at the grease on the wrapping paper after you're done. But again, food is food, and even junk food It's good, at least you're getting something in your belly, some calories, some fat, something. And burger love for hospital heroes. They're really doing the COVID charity thing. Dick's, of course, one of the entities that was against raising the minimum wage. But here they offer $17 an hour in Seattle. Dick's employees earn a base wage which varies from $16 an hour in Kent to $18 an hour on Broadway and in their Broadway and Queen Anne stores. And again, they pay you less if you're outside of the Seattle limits where the minimum wage laws are different. So that's charming. Also charming on their menu, they have Wallingford, Lake City prices, Kent prices, and Broadway and Queen Anne prices. And wouldn't you know it, in Seattle, where the legal minimum wage is higher than these outlying cities, all the food is more expensive. So a Dick's Deluxe is in Lake City is going to be $3.65, but in Seattle it's $3.80. One thing you got to like about Dick's, again, is the simplicity of the menu. You got your deluxe, the 2 patties with some relish. What is with the fucking pickle relish? You got the special, the cheeseburger, plain cheeseburger, hamburger, and plain hamburger. And that's it. And then you get fries and some shakes. The owner or co-owner of Dick's is literally a dick himself. Maybe that's why Bill Gates loves the place. Dick's so much virtue signaling. Dick's customers have given over $2 million to the Change for Charity Partners program. Dick's did not accept credit cards until recently. They're stuck in the 50s. But then in 1998, they started the Change for Charity program. Any change left over on your card goes to some partner charities. And again, this is the customer donating to charity, not Dick's. And since COVID, Dick's drive-in customers have donated over 1,000 burger boxes for hospital heroes. That's a lot of burger love, says the copywriter for Dick's website, which is probably Saul Spady. The only job he's ever had other than right-wing radio host has been doing web design his one client is Dick's. And again, this is the customers purchasing the burgers, not Dick's. What outrageous. I just can't get over that. Oh, thank you, Dick's, because your customers donated burgers. So the customers literally purchased the burgers. And you knew we were getting to this from GeekWire. Billions served. Bill Gates photographed standing in line for a burger at Dick's Drive-In in Seattle. And the photo is by Paul Rich. He's recognized Bill Gates standing there wearing his loafers. And if you look, either the guy in front of him in line is extraordinarily tall or Bill Gates is actually small in stature. He's big wallet, but he's looks like a very tiny person, a petite person. And there he is at Dick's in Wallingford. He's also been spotted at Dick's on Lower Queen Anne. Bill Gates loves Dick's. And again, this is the whole he's a man of the people thing. But Bill Gates and the Gates family spend millions on security. Not the Microsoft security in general, but security for them and their property and their persons. And there is no doubt that there are 6 undercover security people in the immediate vicinity or the area monitoring Bill's stunt being a man of the people paying $1.70 for a cheeseburger. So, who does he think he's fooling here? It's just utter. This is the whole, and of course his buddy Warren Buffett does the same thing. Well, aw shucks, I still live in the same humble house that I bought in the 1950s, and even though I'm one of the richest capitalists in the world. And, oh yeah, when I'm traveling, maybe I stay in a 5-star hotel. Who knows? But I'm just a humble, simple, frugal man. And Bill Gates, too. He's not extravagant at all. He's one of us. The guy that took the photo of Bill Gates at Dick's, he worked for Microsoft for more than 20 years. So not terribly surprised to see Gates at Dick's, but was surprised to see that he was alone. He ordered a cheeseburger, fries, and Coke. So I love GeekWire. I mean, a lot of it is they're just reprinting press releases almost verbatim from these tech companies, but they do have some fun. Here, February 2019 by Kurt Schlosser in GeekWire. GeekWire grills Bill Gates on a meaty issue for Seattle fast food lovers, Dick's or Burgermaster. It's mind-blowing, this me standing at Dick's thing going viral, says Gates. I'm paraphrasing there. While some have spotted Gates at other Dick's locations in the past, the popular consensus was that Burgermaster was his preferred spot, mainly because Microsoft's original Seattle area office was around the corner from a Burgermaster in Bellevue. I've probably eaten more Burgermaster than Dick's because of that, Gates said. I go to Burgermaster all the time, but it's not, I guess, as photogenic as when I'm standing in a long line at Dick's. So people took this photo and photoshopped Bill Gates standing in line at various food trucks and strip clubs and Nazi meetings and stuff. So, Gates is a diabolical fiend and a white devil, a plutocrat and a hoarder of wealth that could otherwise benefit society, and, a philanthropist, a virtue-signaling philanthropist who brags about all the good he does in the world. And yeah, sure, he's saving some kids from malaria, but it's all part of a tax dodge. We go to a blog at Microsoft.com, the historical significance of the Burgermaster drive-in restaurant, January 2020. From 1981 to 1986, Microsoft was headquartered at what was then known as the Northrop Building in Bellevue. This is before they built their Redmond campus. Right around the corner, of course, was Burgermaster. In Windows 3.0, the data segment that recorded the locations of all the other data segments was named the Burgermaster. According to one story, the developer couldn't think of a good name. While these software developers are so creative, they're the artistic geniuses. So he looked out his window, saw the big sign that said Burgermaster, and decided to name it Burgermaster. Oh, the geekery. Although the capitalization of the restaurant name is Burgermaster with a large B, capital B, the sign is printed in all caps, and the developer erroneously capitalized it as Burgermaster with a capital M. The segment is named Burgermaster because it is the most important segment in Windows, just like how the Burgermaster restaurant is the most important restaurant for Windows developers. This is so sad. The Burgermaster restaurant was so important that Bill Gates' secretary kept it on speed dial. In fact, it was a company-wide speed dial number. You could call them to order a burger, walk next door, and your order would be waiting for you. This was a novelty back in the 80s. Oh, and again, Windows, sort of a rip-off of Apple's operating system. Apple, of course, stole that. The graphical user interface and the mouse stolen from developers at Xerox. And no innovation, just stealing and capitalizing on the monopoly you create from what you stole. There is video of Bill Gates and one of his buddies going to Burgermaster. I know it's going to be painful, but we'll play some of that for you here.
Is there anything over there that looks like a vanilla malt?
Yeah, I've got my Diet Coke, and you've got your, I hope that's
Looks good.
what you wanted.
What does one of the richest plutocrats in the world eat? Well, Seattle At an article a few years back, 10 restaurants Bill Gates has been spotted. That's an awkward headline. Let's look at these 10 restaurants. You may know that COVID has killed small businesses, like a huge percentage of small businesses, including restaurants, have been slaughtered. They're gone. They're defunct because of the economic shutdown. And of course, Gates and his company's share price, they're thriving. So, the irony. Big Gates has been at Buy Pie, Northeast 65th. Never heard of it. We looked that up. Buy Pie is permanently closed. Burgermaster, of course, and Canlis on Aurora. Canlis is very old restaurant. It's been around forever. It's a family-run place. Third generation family members are running it, and it's one of those, very fancy, special occasion, fine dining places, and I can't imagine that they're doing well. They were innovative at coming out with drive-through delivery and stuff, but the reason people go to a fucking restaurant is so they can sit down, have someone else do the dishes, and have a fancy meal, have someone wait on them, make them feel important. And that doesn't work when they're shoving the food in a box and giving it to you. You might as well go to Dick's or Burgermaster at that point. And again, I have a soft spot for family-run businesses and small businesses. And I can't imagine that Canlis is doing well or will even survive this pandemic. None of us might fucking survive this pandemic.
I'm a person. They're gonna kill us all. I wish I was shorter because they like people that are tall.
Bill Gates likes Jade Dragon in Redmond. When we look that up, permanently closed. But yeah, if you can have a restaurant run 10 years, that's a lot. So this article came out in 2013. Jade Dragon didn't make it. And again, what is a restaurant other than a place where you launder drug money for a few years and then you close everything down while paying the bare minimum to your employees who are stealing your alcohol? And of course, Bill is going to go to the Metropolitan Grill. It's a nice, steakhouse, seafood place. It's where you go, before going to the prom or to celebrate. It's a fun, funky place. And here's a place that I love that Bill also loves. We have so much in common, Bill. Shiro's. Shiro-san is someone I've met many times. I've been to his place many times in Belltown. Mr. Gates is such a big fan of Shiro's. He has reportedly hired the iconic sushi chef on several occasions to cook for him personally. One thing that animal rights lovers won't like is when there's something they behead the spot prawns, and then when they deep fry the heads, but there's something is still alive, or it's animal. Is it animal cruelty? I don't know. Delicious animal cruelty. We live in a surreal, psychotic world where Donald Trump is president, but one thing that nobody could make up would be a video showing Bill Gates and Warren Buffett picking up a shift at Dairy Queen. That really happened. Here's a clip. It's disgusting.
All right, what would you like?
I want a Oreo Blizzard, small.
Oh, that's one of our most popular. What else can we do?
I want a medium Reese's Blizzard.
Okay.
It's very popular.
Is it?
Absolutely.
I like that peanut butter.
Yeah, how long ago did you buy Dairy Queen, and what was it that made it look good?
I've known Dairy Queen all my life. Dairy Queen actually started in the 1930s, and
wow.
A couple guys worked soft ice cream, and when they were contemplating selling, he actually thought of Berkshire. Who better than some guy that loved the product, and we made a deal, and we've lived happily ever after.
What better way to show contempt for minimum wage restaurant workers working for a soulless junk food franchise than to pick up a shift and show that you're just a regular guy that can work at a Dairy Queen for really a whole shift or just 3 minutes? And this is from Bill Gates. During my visit to Berkshire Hathaway's annual meeting in Omaha, Warren Buffett and I broke away from the meetings to visit a Dairy Queen for some lunch and to get some restaurant training. We learned how to work the cash register, greet guests, and make a blizzard. And fuck you. And of course, there is video of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett eating burgers in Omaha. And apparently they're going to a place that looks like it hasn't changed since the early 50s, Harold's Coffee House. Coffee is spelled with a K, of course, because the Ku Klux Klan likes to replace the first letter of most words with a K. And they're sitting there playing bridge at some home-style bridge place in Omaha. And you see Warren Buffett putting pepper on what it looks like a plain, gray, unappealing burger. But again, he's just like us. This is from 2019. Warren Buffett looks very old. Bill Gates is relatively young. Was he 60? He could live another 40 years easily. With some of the technology he's developing, the eternal life tech, he could live forever. It's a guy, I ate like billionaire Warren Buffett for a week, and I felt awful. And it's not because of all the caviar and lobster and expensive, extravagant rich people food. It's because Warren Buffett goes to McDonald's for breakfast every day. Warren Buffett is one of the world's wealthiest people. His diet consists of fast food and almost no vegetables. Bob Bryan ate like Buffett for 5 days. By the end, he was only... so it's like Super Size Me, Warren Buffett edition. If the market is down, Buffett has sausage McMuffin with cheese. He owns Dairy Queen. Of course he does. So, country fried steak smothered in gravy? Ugh. 2 liters of cherry Coke per day. I find it hard to believe that a frail old man would poison himself with that amount of sugar and toxic whatever else is in cherry Coke. Now, Warren Buffett likes to put extra salt on everything. Now, Bill Gates loves a cow burger. He's also an investor in some of these meatless burger tech companies. Bill Gates can be seen eating a pizza roll on YouTube. A pizza roll is a unique American junk food invention. It's like fried egg roll with pizza, cheese, and sausage and gunk stuffed in the middle.
I whipped up a batch of pizza rolls.
Oh, wow. I'll try it. It's not what I normally eat. Pretty hot, actually.
They're kind of like lava in the middle.
Not bad.
It's okay, right?
All right.
Bill Gates, burger lover. He also wants to stop cow farts so we can help slow climate change, because people eating all this beef means that cows are farting and destroying the atmosphere and contributing to global warming and climate change. Bovine flatulence. And no one knows exactly how to limit gas emissions generated by livestock. I've got an idea. Raise fewer cows. Bill Gates has it, the richest person in the world. Of course, he's going to have it both ways. He loves his cheeseburgers, but he's an investor in meatless burger technology. And he's happy to go on CNN and scold people about how cows are farting, and so stop eating cheeseburgers.
One thing you said you were particularly surprised by was how great a problem bovine flatulence is. Do you want to explain what that is and why it's a problem?
Yeah, so the animals that can eat grass have very unusual stomachs that have these bacteria that are methanogenic in there. And so they leak natural gas, both out the front and the back.
Bill Gates loves Bill Gates, and on the Bill Gates YouTube channel, you see how to make barbecue chicken with Bill Gates, and he's with this chef, and Bill is never seen touching the raw chicken carcass. that would be gross and might even border on some sort of weird pornography if you were to see a close-up of that. But there he is, Bill Gates, with his apron on and some chef guy that has a fashy haircut. And they're cutting up a chicken and they're going to put it in the oven. That's their barbecue chicken. Oh, Robert Hand, the guy with the fashy haircut, Washington State Teacher of the Year 2019. Teaches family and consumer science. What many people know as, quote, home economics.
I have to admit, you've got a very entry-level student here.
Awesome. That's what we deal with every day. Most of our kids have never done any of this either, and it's something that anybody can learn how to do. So
excellent.
Yeah. What we're going to do today is we're going to use the legs, the wings, and the thighs for barbecue chicken, oven baked. We start with a whole chicken because it's cheaper to buy a whole chicken.
In November 2019, Burgermaster's regulars will miss more than its classic menu. Burgermaster on Evergreen Way in Everett closed. Jack Simmons, the owner and manager, was in the restaurant business 40 years. Jack, you quit the restaurant business at the right time. Guess what's going to move into the Burgermaster space? Mod Pizza. This is run by some Satanists that I actually have met at a party, and maybe more than once. It's a husband and wife team, always the worst nightmare to work for. They got their start opening a chain of coffee, Starbucks-style coffee shops in Great Britain, selling that to Starbucks for a king's ransom, and then they started Mod Pizza. Mod is like the Subway of pizza. Someone will sit there and customize your pizza for you, and you're like, I'd like olives, I'd like onions, and sort of a low-quality food. And these Satanists, even though this is a huge, well-capitalized by Wall Street business, received COVID funds. So, and if you look at their webpage, don't get me started on Mod Pizza. It's very fake. It's very facile. It's all about the employees are part of the team and we're all one big family. No, you're not. No, people are not stupid anymore. I mean, you can't fake it anymore. I think because of the internet, it's making some people dumber, but the majority of us are learning and learning critical thinking. Like, well, what is Mod Pizza? Is this just a way to shove my face with some junk food, or is this a way to pay people minimum wage to sit there all day making these shitty pizzas? That's what it is. All right. From Restaurant Dive. P.F. Chang's Ruby Tuesday scored millions in PPP loans. TGI Fridays and Ruby Tuesday received loans between 5 and 10 million each. Mod Pizza also received money from the federal program. This was supposed to help small businesses. It doesn't make sense. If you're a small business, you're putting everything on the line. You're operating one store or maybe a few stores. But if you're Mod Pizza and you have hundreds of stores, you got Wall Street investors backing you, that if you're taking that large of a gamble, why should we bail you out? That's not feeding people. That's just financial speculation. We will never forget Mod Pizza taking those loans. Also, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. God, can you imagine? From thestreet.com, how to eat junk food. Like Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates, November 2017. It's a big photo of Bill with his awkward haircut and next to his wife, who really, she's no prize in her old age. And gosh, maybe that's why Bill spent so much time with Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, we'll never know because Jeffrey Epstein killed himself somehow. It's a mystery. And Bill Clinton does not know who he is. Bill Gates, who isn't a stranger to the finer things in life, eschews caviar and Veuve Clicquot in favor of burgers and sodas. His Seattle home is worth $170 million, but Gates's lunch probably doesn't run him more than a few bucks. Is that really the tax records on Gates's home in Medina say his house is appraised for $170 million? That is really lowballing it. Gates likes McDonald's, an indulgence his wife Melinda doesn't usually allow. He also prefers West Coast staple In-N-Out. That is a good burger. And he says Burger King is fine, but In-N-Out is a very good burger, which is true. So this liar who lies about so many things, one of his great lines that he repeats over and over in lectures and speeches is how much he's paid in taxes. But he's not lying about In-N-Out burger. That's a darn good burger. Like most computer Satanists, Bill drinks Diet Coke. He's drinking 3 or 4 Diet Cokes per day, according to his own blog in 2014. Now, I know his doctors have forbid him from doing that now. He's been photographed guzzling Diet Coke with Bono.
Isn't it amazing? Even people who don't care about dieting love Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
A fine dining waitress who waited on the Gates family for all 3 meals each day during a vacation they took in 2014 said Melinda Gates only drank water or sugarless beverages. She also reportedly asked the chefs at the resort to follow strict portion guidelines. So that's weird, but again, when you're that rich, you can be as weird as you want. They can tell the chef, they could buy the chef, they could buy the restaurant, they could buy the town the restaurant is in. They could buy the island where the town is located, where the restaurant is. I mean, it's unlimited.
And now, advertising from our sponsor.
Sharp blades plus gravity, that's the situation. Head buckets, blood drainage all across the nation. No more billionaires, no more plutes, that's the solution. Come on down to Chop Mart to get with the revolution. Chopping, slicing, heads are rolling, everyone dies. We got pitchforks, torches, and guillotine supplies. Chop Mart, 1789 Skagsport Way South, Central Woolley, Washington, USA, 98284.
According to the Gates Foundation website, animal agriculture uses 30% of all land, 25% of all fresh water on Earth, and creates as much greenhouse gas emissions as all of the world's cars, trucks, airplanes, and other shit. We all remember Bill Gates getting hit in the face with a pie. That was a great day. Gates gets creamed. February 1998 from CNET. Bill Gates, a man used to having his cake and eating it too, today had his cake and wore it too. That's awkward. You're supposed to be a writer, you fucknut. In Brussels, Belgium, to visit European Union officials, the Microsoft chairman was struck in the face with a cream pastry, a cake, or possibly a pie as he was entering a government building to give a speech on education. The thrower, Godin, a fun-loving anarchist, has made a name for himself targeting the rich, famous, and pompous with cream pies. And if you're going to get pied, you want a cream pie. I mean, the simplest cream pie is just shaving cream or whipped cream stuck in a pan. Or you could have a pie with a crust, a cream pie with a crust. That would give you a little more heft, a little more weight for throwing. There's a Netflix documentary about Gates where he's shown drinking lots of Diet Cokes. It's not product placement. He's a Diet Coke person. According to Vice magazine, Bill Gates is terrible at guessing the cost of everyday groceries. He thinks that a box of Totino's pizza rolls costs $22, something it's probably $1.79. Gates was on miserable neoliberal fraud and bad person Ellen DeGeneres' show, and he thought a box of rice-a-roni was $5. It's actually normally $1.
All right, we're going to test your knowledge of some everyday items that you get at the supermarket. When's the last time that you have been at a supermarket?
Long time ago.
Okay. All right.
He's a humble, simple man that wants to stay out of the limelight. Oh wait, that's not true. He's a celebrity. He wants to be a celebrity. He wants to be liked. He wants to be profiled in the media. It's like, who would go on the Ellen DeGeneres show? It's like, you're one of the richest people in history. What good does that do you? I mean, furthermore, I don't know, his kids are off limits, right? Donald's youngest and smartest son, off limits. Gates and Bezos, their kids, off limits, right? Until they become adults and do something bad, which is inevitable. But, this guy has a family, and yet I'm going to fly off to New York to go on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Really? Why, you bastard? Gates is retired from Microsoft, right? But the Microsoft Cafe 16 is a place where employees can go. It's right on campus there in Redmond, can go get snacks. And there's a food truck that's accessible to anyone, but you need Microsoft ID to go into the cafe. Cafe 16, it's actually more of a food court. Managers at Microsoft were like, too many people are leaving campus to go into town to get meals. Let's just keep them here. My earliest visit to Microsoft, I was delivering a pizza, and I was like, wow, everyone has like a guitar and an amp and a pet snake in their office. How cool. And you realize that this smells like a locker room. It's like, it's all dudes and no one ever leaves. They're stuck there. Of course, that's why you'd want Cafe 16. The food is not free at Microsoft like it is at Google, according to Business Insider. But the prices are great. A steak with asparagus and quinoa is just $6.50. A handmade personal pizza was only $5.50. If we worked at Microsoft, we would definitely eat dinner and lunch here every day. Just odd, personality-less food court options here. There's a burger place, chef's table, exhibition cooking, Indian place, and you order with a touch screen. There's pizza. There you see your typical pizza line. It's not great. So they have fantastic water flavored by fruit, right? That's a nice thing to do. You got your water in a cooler with some ice and orange slices and whatnot. And of course, free soda. Grand Rapids Chair Company makes fancy chairs. And on their website, they talk about supplying chairs for Microsoft's newest corporate cafe. When Microsoft decided to redesign their employee cafeteria, Cafe 36, located on their campus, they were dealing with an old, aging, cramped, and lackluster space. This was not the kind of space that would attract and keep the employees that Microsoft aims to employ. They wanted a space that would appeal to millennials who are smart, authentic, and hungry in more ways than one. So a millennial software developer working at Microsoft is smart enough to get that job. Authentic? I don't think so. Hungry after sitting in a chair all day looking at a fucking computer? Maybe not. Gotta say that Microsoft does not drug test, and most of the people that I know that have worked there were major stoners. So then again, you're smart, yes. You're authentic, no. You're blazing a joint outside just to keep your mind straight, yes. And does that make you hungry? Yeah, probably. Oh no, Bill Gates has conspired with aliens. Now they're invading. Everyone dies, except Bill Gates and some other people in a bunker. Sad. Not your typical cafeteria food. The cuisine at Cafe 36 is inspired by the use of local, GMO and chemical-free cooking and promotes urban farming. The ingredients creating that revolution are included in the cafe's 4 anchor stations: Himalaya, featuring Indian food; Decatora, offering teriyaki and ramen; Bosque Burrito; and Veloce Pizza. trying with food, putting these labels on GMO free and stuff. Fine. At least you're trying. At least that's better than not trying and just serving corporate crap that's horrible. Like, imagine the IBM cafeteria in Armonk, New York in like 1956, how bad the fucking food probably was there. The mastermind behind feeding the geeks at Microsoft, that was Mark Freeman. And, started his career washing dishes at a restaurant. He now works for Ford Motor Company, but for 13 years at Microsoft, he, quote, revolutionized how and what the company's 65,000 employees ate every day, according to Food Service Director magazine. So the pioneer, Mark Freeman, he made videos that were displayed at lunch showing where the food was coming from. I took my chefs to the farms and they got their fingers in the dirt, he said. They installed Bluetooth beacons under the service counters. When customers place their smartphones under the counter, they bring up all the particulars about the food being served. That's so soulless and demeaning and like technocratic craziness. Bill Gates, resident of Washington State, where there is no state income tax. Bill Gates, resident of Washington State, the most regressive state for taxes in the country. And our country is not really good at taxing rich people to begin with. Bill Gates can say all kinds of things with a straight face that are just falsehoods or exaggerations. Like, well, I pay so many taxes. I paid millions, hundreds of millions over the years in taxes. And again, this COVID crisis is going to squeeze state budgets more than you can imagine. Are we finally going to tax the rich? All we'd really have to do is impose a huge one-time tax on the 10 richest people in this state. That would solve our budget problems. That's not going to happen. So as our society falls apart, as millions of people might be evicted from the homes they own or rent or their apartments, they're going to be hitting the streets. People are going to be thinking about Bill Gates. And they're not going to be thinking about, oh, shucks, he likes to go to In-N-Out, Burger King, McDonald's, Dick's. No, they're going to be thinking about guillotines. This has been the Doomed Planet podcast, episode 42. Seattle tech villains, Bill Burgermaster Gates. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.
Chopping, gouging, slicing and stabbing, looting all the stores and everybody's grabbing. Politicians and the media telling their lies. Hey everybody, you need guillotine supplies. Torches, pitchforks, guillotine supplies. You'll find it at Chop Mart. Chop Mart, 1789 Skagsport Way South, Cedro Woolley, Washington, 98284.
This is the end of the song!